Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Foxy News back with you again. Your reporter, Ron Yerman. I'm sure you know who I am. This evening we're going to report an interesting statement by the EPA that they just put out today, a long 2-hour address, and it was some of it was publicized, but we're going to give you a synopsis of it. And what they have done is they've passed about 5,000 pages of laws and regulations, and with the administration and all Congress supporting them, of course, and they're going to completely control this country. They're going to control every individual, every business, every organization, everything that occurs from a perspective of how they can contaminate the environment. In fact, we want you to know that they're going to stop smoking. Smoking will be illegal. If you are caught smoking, you will go to jail, and you will not allowed to be smoke in jail. You may be smoked, but you're not allowed to smoke. And they said that they're doing this for the benefit of the all, and it's for everybody's good, and it'll be implemented slowly over a 5-year period. And if you don't comply with it, it's not penalties or fines, it's jail sentences. If it's something severe, like you own a company and you're burning garbage or something, by the way, you'll not be able to burn coal or wood anymore. It's just too contaminating for the environment. And we're going to show this on our show and what they're doing, and we're also going to show some conflicting information, how the country and world was formed with volcanoes that erupted with billions of times the amount of contamination, yet the world still developed, of course, and cleaned itself. We're going to show both sides of this, and it'll be just after a moment here, and you hear from our sponsors. Thank you. Good evening, folks. This is the antithesis of my reporting buddies over at Foxy News, and I'm on different stations, but I basically say the same thing anyhow. And tonight's evening report is a very important one. It's about the EPA that's passing laws and regulations, some 5,000 pages of it, of course, and we've read it all and interpreted it, and various people in our organization have. And it appears like it's quite benevolent. It will work quite well. It's going to be implemented over 5 years. And the only problem is a few of you that still like to smoke will not be able to smoke. And, of course, people that burn wood and coal, you can't do that. And companies that contaminate the environment anyway, they're going to be put out of business and put in jail. But this will be better for the entire environment. It'll keep the air clean and everything. And when you go to prison, you'll have clean air in prison. So it's really quite a program, and we want to try to support it and explain to you in great detail. And don't worry, it's going to be implemented over 5 years. The first year, smokers can't smoke, of course, and a lot of people are put in jail. And in this, 5,000-page laws and regulations, it even explains that, when the prisons start getting overcrowded because of all the people being put in it, they'll release you and give you on some kind of security program, probably IOUs, and then you'll go out in the population and you'll be reformed. And if you make mistakes and they release you, then they'll just eliminate you. So we'll explain that program in great detail and how wonderful it is. And we spent a lot of time reading the 5,000 pages. We took about 10 minutes out of our time to read it. And we'll explain it to you in great detail, and so make you feel comfortable with it and everything. So we'll be right back with you after a couple words from our sponsors and everything. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's another special program from Foxy News, and we're going to present some very interesting facts to you that will certainly relate to you. And it's the President's made an announcement that he has figured out a way that we can spend $950 trillion a year in the budget. And he says we need this because of the healthcare, police actions, social programs, diseases, natural disasters. We have to cover all this for the people. This is what he's proclaiming. And he says the government owes this to the people, and it's just going to cost a lot of money. And he says something very interesting. He said, well, if he can't get enough taxes from you people in various ways, he'll just print the money. So our whole show is going to be dedicated to that philosophy, and we're going to try to show his side of the view, his side of that view, and we'll be right back after a moment from our sponsors. Thank you. This is good afternoon, folks, or good evening. I don't know when it is. I'm taking these drugs that Dr. Emmanuel gave me, and it's keeping my arm down and everything. So I'm okay. But tonight's evening story is very important because the President made an announcement that He's cut the budget down to $950 trillion a year. And he wants everybody to realize that don't worry about this, that, if he can't get enough tax money, he'll just print the money up. I mean, he has complete control of the U.S. Mint, so they'll just print the money up, and another program he's going to present is that if they can't pay their bills, the government can't pay their bills, because of this very, very high budget of taking care of all you people, of course, and that's what, they're all about, that what they're going to do is they're going to give IOUs. So don't worry, and we're going to present this in the logistics and going. It was a law that they passed. It's 10,000 pages. It's a little long, but we're going to explain it to you and help you out to understand it and realize that you will get paid your Social Security and everything. Sometimes you'll get an IOU, and the IOU will be good for, I don't know, but at least there'll be an IOU. So we'll be back with you in a few minutes with further information on this after we hear from our sponsors. So my arm is okay now, and I don't have to raise it. Good evening. This is Foxy News again with you. And this evening should be a very interesting program, and we're going to be dedicated to Roman Polanski, who wants to return to America after, he was committed. He should have been committed to a mental society, but he didn't, he was convicted, and he even admitted to drugging and sodomizing a 13-year-old girl, which means he's a pedophiliac, which means he is crazy, insane, and does not belong in society. In fact, he should be executed. But the Hollywood liberals, the communists, of course, and all the communists that run this country are all for him and saying that what he did was a long time ago. Of course, we're going to prove evidence that as he's been away for many, many years, he's been doing the same thing. He's a sick individual. He doesn't belong in society. He's a danger to society. He's a danger to your children. Yet they want to let him back in because he's one of the communist comrades, and of course they have to support him. So the whole show this evening will be on that, and we'll continue after a brief moment from our sponsors. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your local newscaster from NBC, CBS, and NBC, the state-run media. And tonight's leading story is very interesting because there's a lot of opposition from Roman Polanski, who was a convicted pedophiliac and raped and this 13-year-old girl years ago. But that doesn't matter because he's reformed. During the past few years, he only raped like 20 or 30 other young girls and some boys too. But that doesn't matter because he did those out of this country, so it doesn't affect us. So we want you to understand that we support him coming back and not being any penalties at all. Maybe a slight fine. Maybe he can say he's sorry to that 13-year-old girl, and then he can proceed on with his life because he's certainly a great director, and he works for Hollywood, and Hollywood of course, supports us, so we must support them. So we'll be back with you in a few minutes after we give you a lot of evidence to this effect and everything. And I thank you very much.